Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be introducing a new grill today. And I want to get this out of the way before we start talking about the grill itself, is that I am a new affiliate with the company S&S Grills. So, they sent me the travel kettle grill sometime last year, and with this grill that I'm going to be showing today, they asked me if I wanted to partner with them, and I thought it was a great idea. And I just felt like, one, I liked the product that they sent me, and two, with the new grill that they sent me, I'm able to replicate more cooking styles or kind of items that you guys can do in your own backyards, because you probably have something that's more similar to this than having a bigger offset in your backyard. With all that being said, let me introduce to you guys my new S&S 22-inch kettle style grill. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this is our new 22-inch kettle style grill from S&S. And as you guys can see, this grill looks very, very similar to a Weber kettle grill. So this is not gonna be a video of me comparing this grill to a Weber. This is not the purpose of the video. It's more so for me to just explain things that I really love about a grill slash smoker of this style. But I do think there are certain things that I really do love about this, especially working with the travel kettle. There are certain things that are put into this and additional things. I haven't had a kettle style grill like this since I was probably, I don't know, like 13, 14. When I did my first barbecue item, which was a brisket in a 18.5 Weber kettle, and also doing a bunch of beer can chicken. Things have changed a lot since then, especially in this style of grill, and so I'm really excited to talk about this. So to start off, let's talk about this lid. I remember when I was younger, they used to have the thermometers way up top here, or anywhere kind of close to the handle, which wasn't giving you an accurate reading because it's sitting right on top. This feature now I think is pretty standard from what I've seen, but having this catch right here for the lid is awesome. I only say that because, like I said, the last kettle grill I've had didn't have that, so I'd always have to put it in the ground and pick it off, and it would just sometimes smack on the ground and be wobbling, and you would ding the edges a bit. So I love it. It's awesome. On the bottom, right above the rack itself, we also have a ash can. So all you simply have to do is just lift it, turn it, and you got your can right here, and you can just dump your ash. Honestly, I didn't really think that this was going to be something that I would really think about being like, wow, I really want it, or felt like I needed it. One thing that I notice is when it gets really windy here, which it does, that ash starts flying everywhere. So just to kind of keep this contained, and I can just dump it all at one time, super convenient. Probably the biggest difference, the thing that looks different than this compared to any other model, is this sticking out the side right here. Now what this is a side table. This is just super easy. It just hooks on these latches right here. If you want to put it down, all you have to do is lift it up and just let it swing there. Again, if you want to pick it back up, it's just here, and then just let it sit on its latches. So this will hold 20 pounds or so. So if you are grilling, if you are taking things off and you need to put something on a pan, just having something that's super convenient right next to where the cooker is super beneficial. And just as a precaution, sometimes when you're cooking, you might have flare-ups and things like that, and you don't have time to look for another table on the side, or you want to have as many free hands as possible to take things off so that you can save your food. So let's get to the inside of the smoker now, and now I really want to talk about certain details that I think are really important to why I like this smoker a lot, why I think there are certain things I do a little bit differently which I prefer, or at least the idea behind it is really cool. So just to talk about the very bottom of this grill, is that we have 5 blades in here instead of, I think normally you usually see 3. You can get more oxygen there if you need. Now the reason why I like the 5 instead of the 3 is because if it's only 3, you might move it around, but it starts to make really big mounds of ash just because they're not pushing enough, and it starts to pile up. There's less like giant piles because it's separated a little bit more. I think it makes it a little bit easier. All right, next what we're going to be talking about is the coal grate itself that sits in the bottom. This is a kind of small detail that I think is important, and only because I remember on when I used to cook on these things, this coal grate used to be super small, 6 inches shorter in terms of the diameter. And now why I think that's so important is because kind of like these little parts right here that hold up cold grate are a little bit higher. They're not super low to the bottom. It catches the grill at a high, or this cold grate at a higher spot. If these little pieces down here were a little bit lower and our cold grate had to be a lot like shorter in terms of diameter, we wouldn't be able to maximize as much space as possible. It would give us a much hotter center, cooler edges right here because our coals or our heat source just isn't spread out enough. So because this is a little more elevated, you know, we can dump an even layer of coals all the way across and have a nice, steady, consistent temperature and use up the entire 22 inches of cooking space. All right, next we have our Slow and Sear Deluxe. So this is a very similar design to the travel kettle that we had before. It's a bigger piece, so it's a little bit heavier, but the metal I think is a little bit thicker on this one. The other additional piece that this comes with is a water reservoir. So from here, if you want to do some more low and slow cooking and you want to add some a little bit of moisture to the cook, or you know, I know that this is supposed to use to kind of maintain and regulate temperatures a little bit more by giving it a little bit of a buffer with the water. Last piece on the inside is our 22-inch easy spin grate. Call this an easy spin grate because it spins easy. You know, before I was like, I don't really know the significance or the difference between or why I would necessarily need it. The people at S&S, they have a specific way that they like to cook steaks, and that is heavily used in spinning the grates because I think it's called like the cold grate method and stuff, like cold grate method. Definitely I'm gonna try that out. But the thing that I personally love about being able to spin this easily is sometimes, like I was talking about earlier, about having the table when things kind of get crazy. And if you, let's say you're searing a bunch of stuff over your Slow and Sear right here, and it starts going crazy and you don't have enough time to start picking things up, it's just super convenient to flip the entire thing and just get all the meat off from here. Sometimes, like when meat or fish or things like that starts to stick and you know you're trying to use a spatula or tongs, and or like you're just trying to like rake it across and you destroy everything because it's not ready to be moved and it just kind of peels off. Now if we can actually just spin the grate, we don't have to worry about ruining whatever we're cooking by trying to pick it off and have it stick to the grill itself. So that's why I really love this grate, being able to spin and everything. But the other thing is too is this grate is super sturdy. I've had grates before where they're kind of flimsy and they kind of warp, and you know, like the space in between the grates starts to not be even anymore. So this is awesome. Like even if you guys have your own grill, you know, if you guys are looking to buy a new grill grate, I would highly recommend one of these. The one additional thing that I love about this is that they have this raised hinge right here. So that way when you're trying to add more coals and things like that, you know, you can use tongs or something else to kind of just grab this corner right here because it's lifted, and it's so much easier to kind of to put down and pick up, because before, when it was like flush, you know, I would have to like get my tongs in there or whatever and like get my like finger like stuck in there just to lift it up. So this little small detail right here is huge. So one of the features I really love is this probe that we have on the side right here. And you know, if you don't want it, you can close it up, but you can open this up and you can stick an instant read thermometer. So things like when you're cooking chicken, you're cooking things like prime rib or something that you want to be a little bit more focused on the internal temp of something. You guys have seen me use it a bunch when I do the reverse seared steaks. Like, I didn't think I was going to use this that much, but I've been using it a lot, and I really love this function because you don't have to have a wire sticking on the lip of the grill and now you're not able to close it properly. All right, so we have another larger kind of probe spot down here. What this can be used for is adding additional air so that when you're doing this low and slow process, or when you're grilling, you need to get a little more air into the underneath to where your heat source is. You can do that. One thing I've heard is that sometimes if you want to really be cooking at a lower temp, is to close all the fans and just really play with this opening right here to add additional heat. I think I've also heard people say that they've taken those like regulated fans that like, you know, are automatic and feed air into it and it fits there, but we're not going to use that. No. In my backyard, we regular temperatures on our own because to me, that's what cooking actually is. All right, guys, so I think I talked about everything. I might have missed a couple things here, but if I do, I'll talk about it when we actually start cooking on this thing. But yeah, I'm really super excited to use this grill and this smoker to, again, hopefully do something that you guys are, you know, possibly more used to having in your own backyard. I know everyone doesn't have offsets, and so if there's anything that you guys want to see me cook, whether it's on the offset that I already have, whether it's on this new 22-inch S&S grill. I also have a Weber Smoky Mountain sitting in my backyard too, so I got a lot of things to play around with now. So if you guys are looking for something specific and on a specific type of smoker, let me know. And before I end this video, I just want to say a huge thank you to S&S for allowing me to be part of their team and this opportunity just to, you know, cook on their stuff, and it's really cool. And I also want to say thank you to all you guys who continue to watch my videos, especially with there's so many barbecue backyard people on YouTube, you know, not being able to teach anymore, and as football season comes to an end, like, this is my classroom now, or this is my field where, you know, I always feel like I need to scratch that teaching or coaching itch with something, and to me, this is it. If you guys feel inclined to support myself and this channel a little bit more by using the affiliate link in the description down below, where you guys can get your own stuff. You know, if you guys are looking for a Kettle grill, I feel like this is great, man. I know there are other people on YouTube who sell things that they don't ever use or they don't really care about. Like, this is what I do, so I wouldn't be working with these guys or be selling their product if I didn't like it already. Yeah, if you guys are looking for a Kettle grill, or if you guys have one already but you're looking for something to do some low and slow cooking, like I said, if you're looking for a new Grate that I think is awesome, you can check that out. If you guys are on the move a lot, you guys like to cook outdoors and be a little bit more mobile, that travel kettle is awesome. And just recently, for those people who have green eggs, I believe S&S also created a slow and sear system for that as well. So if you have a green egg and you want to add some of that to your cooking functions or different ways you want to do things, you know, that's available as well to you. And as much as I love doing these backyard cooks, I also want to expand on what this YouTube channel can be. And so I want to stretch it out a little bit more. So for example, I did a 2-part video about planning for a pop-up, and then the second part was me actually, you know, seeing behind the scenes of me, you know, following that plan. So for those of you guys who have a lot of questions about, like, I don't know how to start a pop-up or how to plan it, those are 2 great videos for you guys to check out. Last week I did a 3-part video of me going to New York with my buddies and just going out and eating food, because I feel like in order for me to make really good food here in my backyard, like, you kind of have to go out and eat some good food too. So there's a lot of things that I want to do, but obviously cooking this backyard, this is going to be the main thing. So with all that being said, guys, this is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.